Hello everybody, and just here and welcome back to Sabikui Bisco, episode 2. I was waiting, the whole week I was waiting for Sabikui Bisco episode 2 to come out. This anime intrigued me and interested me so much with its first episode that it's probably honestly Black Horse of this season. I don't see much interest in it, oddly enough. Even looking at my channel's analytics, it's probably the worst performing series in this season by far. That doesn't mean I'm gonna drop it or anything, so don't you worry none. But, it doesn't interest people all that much, at least not as much as Symphogear or even Those Frontline. Oddly enough, I really thought that it's Those Frontline that will be that niche show, but no, it turns out that it's Sabikui Bisco. But I can see why people kind of bounced off of it. In retrospect, the first episode was very heavy in exposition and fairly light in showing us things. Now, there was a little bit of showing instead of telling, right? Some environmental storytelling even, but it was mostly exposition about the rust, about the mushrooms, about the society, etc., etc., etc. My hope is that now that we are done with this exposition dump, it's gonna be smooth sailing until the very finale. Let's hope for that. And let's hope that people will start hearing other people's good opinions about Sabikui Bisco and will start watching this series as well, because it deserves to be seen, in my honest opinion. Right. In the last episode, not really all that much has happened. We barely met Bisco, our protagonist. We met the doctor, whose name I forgot, Dr. Panda, I think they call him, as a nickname. We've met him. We know that he researches mushrooms as a potential cure for the rusting. And we also know that mushrooms are banned because they are associated with rusting. Apparently, Bisco, our main protagonist, our main character, is a terrorist who uses mushrooms to spread the rusting. I don't know how true is that. I mean, the fact that he does spread mushrooms is definitely true. We've seen it ourselves, but I'm not sure if it's those mushrooms that are the cause of the rusting. Right, we've also met the doctor's sister, who is some kind of a peacekeeper in the city, some special forces, that kind of deal. And she's sick with rust, and the doctor wants to find a cure for her, made of those mushrooms, and Bisco can supply him with a lot of them. Now, what's gonna happen? I don't know. What's the actual premise of this show? What's the actual main story, main arc? I have no clue. All those things will probably come to life in this episode. I'm not sure. We'll have to watch and see. I think I have a suspicion that our good doctor will join Bisco either because he will be associated with an dangerous terrorist and will be effectively chased out of the city, or because Bisco will tell him about some miracle cure for rusting that he himself is looking for, and he could use a companion. Could go either way, really. Not enough was established in the first episode to be able to say for sure. So, let's not prolong that any further, shall we? Let's just give you guys some subs. Let's give me some sounds. Let's start this episode, and we're starting with a dramatically lit face of Bisco, so I'm assuming we're starting with the OP, not with any particular scene, but I don't know, it might be him waking up from cryo sleep for all I know about this show, which is not much. Okay, Sabikui Bisco Episode 2, version by Subs Please, is gonna be starting in 3, 2, 1, go. And it seems to be the OP indeed. Desert fish. Sure, why not? I mean, we have giant crab mounts, why not desert fish? CG isn't the greatest, admittedly. And desert whales. And here's the sister. Here's some dude that also appears sometimes. Here's, I'm assuming, our third party member. That's the governor of the city. And those are desert whales. Not gonna lie, I kinda love this OP. Certainly gives me some Doro Doro vibes. And also gives me those flying fish in particular. What was it called? Shit. The other manga by the author of Girl's Last Tour. It's not gonna let me. Uh, right. We are back here. And he pretended to be a priest. So we're gonna see the fight and we're gonna see. Okay. We're gonna see how he dealt with those guys. I like Bisco. Oh. Can he regenerate or something? That's a. Oh. Mushrooms. Okay, so Bisco knows his stuff. I mean, you've been doing it. Shimeji Simulation. That's the title of the manga. The flying fish really remind me of Shimeji Simulation. There is also a theme of mushrooms in Shimeji Simulation. If you couldn't tell by the name Shimeji. Okay, but who is this old dude? We know that he's significant, but what was he doing here? Classic. Oh, so they know he's there. I love how this one dude has sunglasses on top of his mask. Yeah, they don't care about Dr. Panda. And here I thought that the governor has the hot for him. I guess Dr. Panda thought the same. Too late now. Okay, that's all well and good, but how are your arrows mushrooms? Oh, it talks. Oh no, it's another old dude. Hippo. Literal hippos. Literal hippos. Mind controlled hippos with grenade launchers strapped to their backs. I'm sorry, what? Is animal vehicles gonna be like the running theme? The slug plane? The uh, anachronous storytelling? Okay, so it is the same old dude. Okay, getting their attention. Oh, right, we've already seen them riding those lizards. Okay, so the governor really wants to govern the city, huh? With his own private militia. And he's just taking photos? The music, though. Okay, flying crabs. No, you didn't. Escargot, right, French name for the edible snails. That's why the plane is named Escargot. Of course. That sounds excessive. She's joining our team eventually, isn't she? I'm loving the governor as well. So far, he's a great villain. Or at least a great antagonist. Yeah, the town of friendship, that sign surely surely gives off that vibe, doesn't it? Explain those terms, maybe? Okay, so I'm guessing Bisco. Yeah, Bisco wants to find a cure for his master. And Dr. Panda wants to find a cure for his sister. They have a common goal. Rust Eater, I'm guessing some mythical mushroom that can cure rusting. Of course, Bisco isn't good at synthesizing medicine, but Dr. Panda is. Hmm. Who that? Oh, so we're getting a bit of a flashback to when he fought with the pink-haired girl. Escargot? Escargot. Why? The music is extremely not disturbed. Dope or cell dweller? Cell dweller. Yeah, but why? Why strap a snail to a bomber? And what are those electric eel things? Yeah, can shoot that down. Okay, that's how he was injured. Bisco's gonna get a power up through his grief and anger, and he'll manage to pierce the armor of the escargot. Of course. And it's bleeding. And the plane is bleeding. What the fuck is this world? Is he? Is this blood or is it birthmarks? Because that wasn't clear. Oh, it actually was blood. Huh. And at this very moment, something sparked between them. And Javi's perfectly fine and awake. And that's also a bluff. Your brother was probably killed in Akaboshi's attack. Yeah, misunderstanding will lead to her becoming the antagonist of our main duo. until she realizes, maybe halfway through the season, maybe near the end of the season, that Bisco really helped her brother, and she's gonna join the team. And she's really not great at her job, is she? I love her face here. I'm probably gonna make it into an emote on my server, which you can join, by the way, link in the description. Who made the music here? And she just scuttles away. Cliffhanger. Cliffhanger. Of course, it's a cliffhanger. Don't tell me the whole series is gonna be like that. Because I already have one cliffhanger heavy series in my lineup, Symphogear. Second cliffhanger heavy series. That's too much. Ah, such a great show. I think it's Bisco Seiyu actually singing it, and Panda Seiyu. Yeah, it's really giving me the vibes of so many series that I really enjoyed and loved. Shimeji Simulation, Doro Doro, all that goodness. Okay, that ending was interesting. But let's go through the episode again, shall we? And let's go through it step by step this time and analyze what needs to be analyzed and comment on what needs to be commented on. Yeah, this flying fish is like the epitome of Shimeji simulation. It's an amazing manga. Go and read it. We're having some asynchronous or anachronic or whatever the word is here, non chronological storytelling here. We're jumping between the present and the past, and even between different points in the past, it seems. Uh, but yeah, it's cool. It's not too confusing, and also the fact that fairly soon all the timelines converged in a single place. So I'm assuming there's not going to be any confusion from now on. Become strong and delicious, that's Bisco. I'm assuming Bisco has an actual meaning. And also, we know that he really likes his name Bisco, and that he doesn't want anybody to mock it. And yeah, we're jumping into the present. And Bisco is a specialist with mushrooms. Green tea and opuntia. Yeah, he knows his mushrooms, he knows his stuff, but he's not all that versed at preparing the medicine, which is why we need Dr. Panda. Salmo Rothschild. Okay, so I'm assuming the point of using semi-biological vehicles is to be able to use some sorts of bioweapons. Like, I don't know, the slime secreted by that slug under the armor is collected and used for coating the bullets that are shot out of the minigun. So, besides the regular damage, it also induces some salmo rot that can kill you even after, even if you get treated for the shot wound, you're gonna get rots to set off in your body. Yeah, and they don't care about hostages. They don't. They don't care about Dr. Panda. Sorry, it's super late. Sabikui Bisco is coming out very late for me, and I probably should have pushed it to like Tuesday slot. Maybe I'm gonna do that from next time on. I don't know. We'll see. And mushrooms and the crab. Initially, I thought that the crab is talking because that's the impression that we got. And I was kind of afraid that it's gonna be like an annoying mascot. I'm not a huge fan of mascots in shows, to be perfectly honest with you. They are more often annoying than actually adding something to the story or to the characters or to the relationships. Not a huge fan of mascot characters. Um, Now, one thing I noticed about the crab, I also watched Arifreta season 2, episode 1 not long ago, and that's something that I paid attention to when it comes to CG in Arifreta. In season 1, CG was atrocious. In season 2, CG seems to be at least bearable, at least on par with like your everyday usual CG that you see in anime, unfortunate as it is. And the one thing that made the new CG better is that everything was limited, just like characters, to two, maybe three colors. Right? That's kind of the anime style. That you have one main color of every element, like you have the beige color of his cloak. And then you have a second color that makes either a highlight or a shadow. More often than not, it's a shadow. And you have this darker beige on his cloak that makes the shadow. The same on his skin, it uses two colors. His hat, his bow, his weird, like, glove thing, his hair, everything uses two colors tops. Uh, Bisco's goggles, they're using three colors, but not more. One base color, one color for shadows, one color for highlights. That's the distinct style for anime. Usually, if something is more complex, it's a piece of the scenery. Like you can see the wall here, for example, right? There are some gradients on that wall. You can see what else? Any other good examples? Well, maybe the sand, right? The sand also consists of more colors. The sky, generally scenography. It's kind of a maybe not a trope, but something you slowly learn to notice when you have, for example, a bookshelf. One of the books is always drawn in a more simplistic style, so and you can already know that that's gonna be the book that the character is gonna pick up because it's drawn in a different style. So when something like this crab, which is covered with a texture, with some sort of a pattern, with gradients, with various, noise, with grungy texture on it, it really, really seems off. Because it's something interactable, it's something movable, it's not a part of scenery, and yet it has such complex patterns and such complex texture to it. This crab could have had that texture if it was static, if it was a piece of the scenery. If it's moving, it should have been kept to those 2 or 3 colors. So far, it's only been this crab that kind of maybe not weirds me out, but is a bit iffy. Some explosions, the particles, the rubble also isn't the best, but I'm willing to forgive those deficiencies. I'm willing to forgive a little bit of a janky CGI because of how great everything else is. Yeah, as you can see, everything has a maximum of 2 or 3 colors. Bisco's hair now has 3 colors: main color, shade, and a little bit of highlight. The hippos also have 3 colors. And the scrab, you can see all those patterns and whatnot, and it just doesn't work. You can see that it's a cel-shaded CG model. But yeah, I have to ask again, what the fuck is this world? Like, I can understand riding iguanas or whatever it was called that they are riding, right? I can understand that. If lizards evolved to be bigger than mammals, we would probably also be using lizards instead of horses. I have no doubt about it. We'd be keeping big chameleons, or what's it? Chameleon? Chameleons, I think that's the pronunciation. We'd be keeping big chameleons instead of dogs, right? We'd be getting eggs from some other weird lizard instead of chickens. So it's not weird that they are riding lizards. It's not even all that weird that they're riding a crab, right? The crab is basically a mobile platform. It has thick armor, you can drill into it and install a chair, install a gun, install a little bit of a roof or something. Kind of like the idea with elephants, right? In India, they have all uh, those tiny little nut huts that, you know what I mean, a little bit of a roof, a little bit of walls, everything ornate, placed on the back of an elephant, because elephant is a big animal and can handle that. Same goes for the crab. It's not that weird that they are riding a crab. But this, those battle hippos. Now, it wouldn't be that weird if it was a hippo with a minigun on his back. But there is also weird yellow pipe that I am assuming serves as means of mind control. So those hypos are probably remotely controlled. They're organic drones. And there's that weird fuck off red bolt on its back. What? And yeah, back to the present. Yeah, the clinic had to be destroyed, a little bit of a diversion. And I think the sister in this shot is also CG. It's super tiny, but it's definitely CG. See, that's the wild thing about CG. And it's animated on once. Yeah, that's the weird thing about CG, that even if it's so tiny, it's, let me tell you the exact size, 36 pixels wide, 53 pixels tall. That's the size of her motorcycle here. And you can tell that it's CG. you can immediately tell that it's CG. Getting whoever creates some shading model or some algorithm or whatever that makes CG indistinguishable from drawings, we're gonna read books about them. I guarantee that, because CG has been used in anime for so long, for years, and it's still nowhere near acceptable quality, if you ask me. Now, shows that are entirely CG somehow get around it, because when a CG character interacts with a CG world and with another CG character, it all works out. But here we have CG characters interacting with 2D flat world, and it doesn't always work, right? The style is different, the frame rate is more often than not different, the patterns and shapes and colors and how shadows move and everything like that is different. It's subtle. Very often it's subtle, but still visible. Her figure, though, I just noticed, she has like a super wide chest and super slim waist and super slim hips. Her shoulders are like twice the width of her hips. What the hell is this figure? uh, Maybe it's just her boobs that are spreading so wide. Or maybe it's the effect of the pattern on her clothes as well that creates this illusion, and the pauldrons. Okay. We're gonna need to see her naked and from behind to be able to fully grasp her figure. Yeah, they're going for the governor's office, but no, they aren't. And the governor seems to have everything under control. It almost seems like he was waiting for a chance to deploy his militia in full, right? Perhaps he wants to make the most out of a bad situation. An enemy is attacking us. See, the city watch did nothing. It's my private militia that saved you all. I wouldn't be surprised. And again, a flashback. Why is he taking photos? I don't know. The music. The music. Yeah, and Bisco isn't good with just a bow. He's a strong motherfucker. Really strong. And that's a huge mushroom. Like, you could carve it out and make an apartment building out of it. She's definitely gonna be a recurring character, and the governor, I think, as well. Now, they're supposedly on a journey somewhere into some MacGuffin land, but the governor also is prominent in the OP, which makes me think that either we're staying in the city for longer than I thought, or the governor will keep sending people after Bisco and his team. Could go either way. I love her. I love how slimy and shady and incompetent she is. And she bought herself a snail plane. A private snail plane. A personal snail plane. Now don't get me wrong. If you could buy a snail plane on eBay and I had the money to do that, I would buy myself a snail plane. But still. And yeah, her pitch to get into the mob was that she had the snail plane. No skills, no nothing, head empty, but she has a snail plane. My thoughts aren't so simple that you can empathize with them. I love the governor as a villain, as an antagonist. I'll be honest, I love every character so far. Welcome to Imihama Prefecture, the town of friendship. Kinda giving me Gulag friendship vibes from Borderlands 2. Not gonna lie. Mushroom soup. And yeah, now we have a shared goal for Bisco and Dr. Panda. There is a MacGuffin mushroom, the Rust Eater, that can probably, as the name would imply, cure rusting. Bisco is a great fighter, but a poor apothecary who has someone who he wants to heal of rusting. Dr. Panda is a very poor fighter, but a great apothecary who has someone who suffers from rusting and who Dr. Panda wants to heal. Their goals are the same. Their skills complement each other. They make the perfect duo. Iron mice. Yeah, don't true. Is that a hand? I just noticed. Is this a huge hand? This rock formation. I think it might be. What the hell is this world? And yeah, of course, the classic conflict of the old sensei saying, "Oh, I've taught you everything I knew, it is time for me to pass on." And the young student being like, "No, sensei, I can't let you go. Even if you want to die, I will revive you, I will resurrect you, I will keep you as an undead zombie in a cage if I have to. I refuse to let you go." The classic conflict. Yeah, few mushroom keepers can match his physique and skill. That's an important piece of information. Bisco, supposedly, isn't all that unique. There is a whole tribe, city, family of mushroom keepers like him. Now, question is, although, no, I don't think it's a question. Although, actually, if there are more mushroom keepers, can we assume that they just sit in one place in their little mushroom smurf village? Because we haven't seen any, and we haven't seen the mention of any. All the wanted posters and whatnot is solely for Bisco. If we assume that other mushroom keepers can also sprout mushrooms out of nowhere, and mushrooms are seen as the source of the rusting, you would think that there would be some wanted posters for other mushroom keepers, or for any mushroom keeper at all. But no, it's just for Bisco. So either mushroom keepers are a dying breed like witchers, or they are reclusive, or perhaps Bisco is simply so notorious compared to all other mushroom keepers that all the attention is on him. Bisco gonna die, shut up. Shut up, don't talk about you dying. I don't wanna hear that. I don't wanna hear your happy stories. I know that you're trying to take my mind off the fact that you are on the verge of death. And I don't appreciate it. Yeah, the classic conflict. Akutagawa. And here comes escargot. Yeah, Matoba manufacturing snails. And I guess one reason you would put a snail on a plane is to get this attack. I have no clue. Arrows won't work on that heavy armor. Foreshadowing, because they will work on that armor. And also, we heard earlier from the pink-haired girl that Bisco indeed did pierce escargot's armor. What's this electric eel, though? It came completely out of nowhere. It's it's like the opposite of Deus Ex Machina. Instead of something that appears out of nowhere and helps our characters, it's something that appeared out of nowhere and got in the way of our characters. Where did it come from? Was it was it foreshadowed anywhere? No, he's just shooting down the rockets, and this thing just pops out of the ground, out of nowhere. I thought that maybe rockets, those rockets had those little pillars inside, but nothing, nothing shows that. So it's just completely out of the blue. And of course, the master sacrifices himself. Bisco gets a boost, and pierces that escargot clean through. And it's always disturbing when machines bleed, isn't it? It can be like entirely machine without the whole slug part in the front. But the bleeding is what's so unsettling. Because machines don't bleed. Living beings bleed. I love it. And she just parachutes away. And we're back to the present. All the timelines have converged. Of course, Jabi is strong because he's the master here. I honestly thought that those red streaks were just part of Bisco's design, but no, they are apparently just, blood that needs to be cleared up. I don't know if I prefer Bisco with the blood streaks or without them. Hmm. I guess those shadows kind of make up for the lack of those blood streaks. I think I preferred him with the blood streaks, honestly. Milo. Was the headbutt? No, it's his black eye. And he just sees everything. Pretends he's unconscious. And yeah, the big misunderstanding. The big misunderstanding. The sister now believes that her brother was killed by Bisco. Because the clinic was blown up. I can see her arc. I can see her arc already. She will go after Bisco with reckless abandon, and she eventually chases him down and sees that Milo is with him. And they explain everything to her, that it was actually the governor's people who were shooting up the clinic, and that Bisco rescued Milo and didn't try to kill him. On the contrary. And she's either gonna go solo against the governor, or she's gonna join the gang. Could go either way. And here's this goober. Yeah, that's getting screenshotted. Nice. Save. And this is getting screenshotted. Hook and saved. She's so slimy, she tries to talk her way out of everything. And I love the subtle change in style here. There's a little bit more detail on her head plate, a little bit more detail on her pauldrons, a little bit more detail on her sword thing. There are additional particles flying, and the music! The music! All those chips, all those this frown, all those marks on her metal plate and on her sword. It creates so much additional detail for effect, for additional drama. And she's no pushover. She's no pushover, but neither is Bisco. Just like that, arrow straight through her weapon. Straight through. And we're getting a cliffhanger right before their fight. Next episode preview. So they're gonna rescue her, and I think they're gonna leave her behind. I think this bracelet, it's gonna be like Milo's bracelet or something to signify that he's alive, but they won't be able to take her with them for one reason or another. And it's gonna be. I can easily see this anime having split storytelling. Two parallel stories running next to each other. One story of the sister who goes against the government and tries to uncover all those secrets and find her lost brother. Second, the story of Bisco and her lost brother in search for the cure for rusting. Maybe. Would be cool. Would be cool because Milo's sister is a great character. I love her design, although it is a little bit misshapen, and I love her character. Tag team. That was Sabikui Bisco, everybody. That was Sabikui Bisco episode 2. Cables. And what an episode it was. I think they wanted to dump all the exposition, all the world building in episode 1 and then get on with the program. And they got on with the program in this episode for sure. I think this show might have benefited from a double feature first episode though, because kind of like Shield Hero, kind of like Tokyo 24-ku, the first 24 minutes or 20 odd minutes are spent on not really too exciting things, mostly setup, and then we get to action and to exciting things in the second half of the double feature episode. As it is now, some people might have seen episode 1 of Sabikui Bisco, might have thought that it's boring, it's a lot of telling and not a lot of showing, and might have dropped it, not giving themselves a chance to see future episodes. Hopefully, as people learn through the grapevine about the greatness of this show, more people will start watching it. And I'm not just saying that because I want more people to watch my Sabikui Bisco reactions. No, I want more people to watch this show. I genuinely want people to watch this show. You don't have to watch my reactions to it. Just watch Sabikui Bisco. I'm liking this show so much, and I'm so invested, and I want it to succeed. It's only episode 2, and I already want a sequel. I already want season 2 to be announced. Hopefully, I mean, if Sai-Hate no Paladin got season 2, if Arifureta got season 2, why would Sabikui Bisco not get season 2? Maybe because it's not an isekai, huh? It's always the isekais that get the best treatment, isn't it? I think I'm gonna shill this show in a couple of Discord channels, like shamelessly. I'm gonna get into Tiabu's Discord channel, 3MA Panics, Nozevixes, and I'm just gonna shill. I'm just gonna shill for Sabikui Bisco. I want to learn more about the world. I want to learn more about its technology, about its magic, seemingly, about the mushrooms, about the mushroom keepers, about the rusting, about everything. I'm so invested in this show, in its world, in its stories, and in its characters. And then its music. The music is weirdly amazing, honestly. I have to check it. Actually, I have to check it. I have to check it again. Who made music for Sabikui Bisco? Sabikui Bisco, Mal, please. Please have the music producer listed. Sound director, theme song performance, art director, background art director of photography. So nobody is listed as nobody who would make the music for the show proper, not just OP and AD, but during the show itself. Maybe it's an analyst. Let's take a quick look. Control F. Music. Hinako Tsubakiyama and Takeshi Ueda. Only those two people are listed, but I feel they might have been responsible for... Although no, Takeshi Ueda looks like someone who would write this kind of music, and he wrote the theme song for Baki. That checks out. What's his website looks like? Yep, okay, that's his music. Takeshi Ueda. Let me fave you real quick, my dude. Takeshi Ueda. Thank you. Arigato Takeshi-sensei for creating this music. It really reminded me of the music of my childhood. Cell Dweller, Dope, what else was there? Guano Apes, Saliva, Disturbed. I'm gonna have to listen to a bit of that soon. Maybe as I'm editing the thumbnail or something, I'm gonna listen to some Cell Dweller. Good old times. Yeah, I'm gonna be waiting for episode 3 with bated breath. And I hope you guys are gonna be waiting with me. If you haven't seen episode 1 for whatever reason, go and watch it. And then rewatch episode 2. This show is worth rewatching. Absolutely. Yeah, but that's gonna be it. That's gonna be it. I have nothing more. I have nothing more except why the fuck would you put snail on a plane? And why would you mind control hippos? Tell me what you thought of this episode in the comments down below. Tell me what you thought of my reaction. What do you think of this world? Are you as excited as I am to learn more about it? Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, but tell me why so I can improve. Join my Discord server, link is down in the comments, it's free and open for everybody, so come and discuss Sabikui Bisco or any other anime I'm reacting to, or come discuss anything else. We have a food channel. Come and post a photo of your breakfast if you want. If you really like what I'm doing, you can support me on Patreon, link down in the description. $1 a month gets you access to some hidden channels on that server and gets you access to a flashy orange salmon kind of roll. $10 gets you early access to non-seasonal shows, which this season is Symphogear, and probably I'm gonna also be releasing Arifureta early for Patreons. We'll see, I don't know yet. Subscribe to the channel so you get notified of future releases, not just Sabikui Bisco, but also Dolls Frontline, Tokyo 24-Ku, Symphogear, and Arifureta. 5 shows this season. Am I crazy? Probably. Anything else? Share this video with people. Share Sabikui Bisco with people. I don't care if they watch my reaction to it. I just care that they watch this show because I want it to succeed. And that's it. That's the end of my shilling. So, as always, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Cheers! And here's a list of my patrons. If you wanna join this list, you can support me. Even for a smaller sum, you're still gonna be here.